All right, everybody. Welcome back, Dan Wilkerson. He's had a little bit of a hiatus due to all kinds of fun schedules and shenanigans on his end, so we're reintroducing Konk Noggle, his gnome pyromantic evoker, correct?
Yes,
Yep,
he is. He's a big pyromaniac.
yep.
Loves to see
So,
stuff burn.
yep. So, last time we saw Konk, the party had made their way to the Wizard of Wines Winery, uh, en route to deal with uh, the evil tree that had been foretold to the party by Madame Ava regarding finding one of the last pieces of treasure to to counter Strahd von Zarevich, the evil lord of Barovia. When they got there, they were flagged down by an individual who was part of the Keepers of the Feather, a goodly order of were-ravens, who informed them that the owners and operators of the winery were in fact being held siege inside their own home and business by evil druids, twig blights, vine blights, so on and so forth. And you know what? As a friend of your friends in the Keepers of the Feather back in Vallaki, could you do us and our friends over there a solid and get them out, or at least drive off the bad guys? So, the party rolled up. Sylphan and Rictavio went inside to scout and see if they could figure out where the bad guys were hiding at, where the family was hiding at. Some shenanigans went down. One of the evil druids jumped out the second-story window and tried running off into the fields, and Errol, the foretold ally of the party, again by Madame Ava, shot him dead in the back as he fled. A few other shenanigans happened where everyone in the party decides to go inside, leaving Atlas, the mount of the party paladin, along with Konk and the wolf, to hide out in the stables, along with the Martikov horses that pull the wine wagons whenever they make deliveries. All seemed well and good, Konk and the wolf, the two short folks hanging out with Atlas, when all of a sudden there was a small on the floor as a small object flew through the window, and then as apparently some kind of yellow-green noxious gas filled the room, and seemingly only the horses were the ones that had the constitution to fight off the alchemical sleep agent that was thrown in there. The blights then snuck in and tried to make off with the little ones, except Atlas, being the paladin's horse that he is, literally and figuratively kicked the blights' asses, including one all over the door. Hearing the noise coming from the stables, the party came out to investigate and found Atlas all kinds of pissed off. They found the wolf unconscious and beat to hell, lying in a pile of straw, and Konk nowhere to be seen. Koenig the Paladin used Locate Object on an object that he had specifically given to Konk, and tracked him across the fields for a little while and tried to give chase and recover his kidnapped friend in mid-kidnapping. Unfortunately, they got waylaid by more vine blights, and by the time they got done dealing with them, Konk was into the forest and being ferried along by some other means of kidnapping off into the woods, and eventually disappeared off of Koenig's radar with the Detect Magic spell. Since then, the party has been forced to go on without their little gnomish friend, and meanwhile, we haven't seen hide or hair of the little gnome until today. So,
I have two questions.
Yes.
What wolf? What wolf is this? Is that
The
Sullivan's
wolf?
wolf?
No, the wolf is the pseudonym of my wife Sarah's character. When asked for a name, that is all that she gave for his name. Is just he's known as the wolf.
That's like the second time I've asked that question, or third maybe.
I think actually only second.
And some kindling got the better of Konk. He must have been drunk.
Well, unfortunately, that's where the alchemical poison or sleeping potion came in, or sleeping powder rather. Basically, picture like a smoke grenade, but the smoke itself is alchemically treated to put creatures to sleep.
Knowing Konk, he probably purposely inhaled it just to see what it did.
Probably. And as the lights fade, it's like, oh, that's what it... Doesn't even finish the sentence. All right. So, that is the last that Konk was aware of was, ooh, strange powder. I don't know what this does. Check it out. Fall asleep. You seem to have been asleep for a while, and you start to kind of slowly come around to this almost small, rhythmic, floating sensation. In your very heavily sleepy state still, you don't particularly hear any noises to speak of. But as you're coming to, I would like you to make a dexterity saving throw at disadvantage because of being so groggy.
All right. That would be a 10.
10.
16
okay.
and a 9 plus 1.
All right. So with the 10, you feel almost a sudden sensation that you're about to fall off whatever it is that you're lying on, and you manage to flail out with your arms and grab hold of whatever it is you're lying on, in the process splashing cold, brackish, bitter water up into your face and grabbing hold of, apparently, a plank that you're lying on.
Sleep starts. Waking up on a river on a plank.
Almost, except the fact that looking around, you realize there's no sunlight, there's no starlight, there's no moonlight or torchlight. In fact, if it wasn't for your dark vision, you'd be completely blind in the pitch black. You're staring up at a stone ceiling that's just riddled with mold and moss, about 5 feet above your head. There's opaque, black, brackish water all around you, and you seem to be in a 10 by 10 prison cell, stone on 3 sides and iron bars on the other. The iron bars themselves are about 4 inches apart this way and have 6-inch gap crossbars going this way.
10 by 10, you say?
Yep, 10 by 10 and flooded.
Am I moving?
You are...
Or is the current just going under me?
There doesn't appear to actually be a current, actually. It's just kind of stagnant, sitting water.
All right. Test the structure and see if it's floating or if it's fixed to something.
The structure of the room is definitely affixed. What you're laying on appears to just be a scrap plank, maybe a shattered bench from somewhere else. Apparently, they decided they didn't want you to drown in your unconscious state, so they stuck you on this and just hoped you would wake up whenever you fell off.
That was nice of them. Are my hands free?
They are free.
Look about for my gear or equipment.
You realize that it's on the other end of the plank from you, and due to your thrashing about, it looks like it's about to fall off into the water. Your haversack. The rest of your gear that you had on your belt and whatnot seems to still be there. Your adamantine spider staff, you can actually just see the top of it pitched up against the corner in the wall, which, knowing how tall that is, tells you that the water's about 5 foot deep.
Okay, and oh shit! Oh, I thought it was a cat knocking something over. It's my kid. I'm having a little bit of trouble with the beginning description. You said I'm in a cell, 10 by 10.
Yep.
I'm on a plank inside of the cell.
Yep.
Okay. And it's about 5 feet of water outside of the cell. I got the impression that it was in a river or something. It's actually a room outside of the cell.
If you look outside the cell, you realize that, like if you were to paddle your little raft, as it were, over to the bars and look out, you realize that you're actually in the second or third in a row of 4 cells, and the other side is a mirror image.
Okay. All right. Anything else inside of this cell? Maybe a bucket to pee in?
You imagine
Anything like that?
being that the hallway outside your cell, the cells across from your cell, all being flooded in roughly 5 foot of water. You imagine that if they felt you had the urge to relieve yourself, you just go right there in the swimming pool.
Between me and my gear is open water.
Between you and your gear is actually just however much space is on the plank, which is roughly a 5 to 7 foot long plank. Like you're on one end, your gear's on the other end. The
gear's inside the cage.
Yeah, it's it's on your plank with you. And then your adamantine staff is up in the back corner of your cell. Apparently, they seem very confident that you won't be able to break out of your cell.
Is it? I'll very gently try to slide. Wait a minute. I'm probably counterbalancing that gear, aren't
I? Not particularly. I mean, you think as you feel the plank that you're on, it's a fairly wide and stout plank. Like I said, it could very well be from the bottom of a bench, the actual seat of a bench. So you think if you were to slide down to the other end, it might dip a little bit due to the weight, but not enough to throw you or your gear off.
Hey, hold on 1 second. Looks like the family's home. Let me just mute this for 1 sec, okay?
Okie dokie.
I'll be right back. I'm not going anywhere.
Yep. We'll just put the stream on break real quick. All right.
Probably hear the dog in the background.
Yeah. So.
I would like to inch my way down the plank, slowly being very cautious of any shifting in weight, and try to get closer to my gear.
All right. Make a dex check with advantage. Because you're taking your time and being careful.
That would be a 9.
All right. That's still sufficient because it's still you're small, it's a big plank, you're able to pretty easily just kind of pull yourself along, shimmy, shimmy, shimmy.
Yay for DC 5s. Okay. All right.
Had you rolled a natural 1, I'm sorry, you're going overboard.
I'm going to don the haversack,
yep.
Pick up my staff.
Yep. And paddle over, pick it up. You can kind of use it to pull your way around the water so that it's not as slow as paddling.
Am I wearing my ring of protection?
It doesn't seem that they took it off of you, so yeah, you're good.
That's interesting.
Like I said, it seems that whoever threw you in here is extremely confident you will not be able to escape. Wouldn't it be awesome to prove them wrong?
Well, it's pretty easy. I think I know how. I mean, it's not easy, but fortunately, I'm a wizard, Harry. I have two options, actually. Both are fucking second-level spells, but... Am I at my full power?
Yeah, it seems for however long you've been unconscious, you have effectively had a full rest, a long rest. So, full spell slots, full health, full hit dice.
All right, I want to look around at the architecture, see if I can get any kind of clue as to who my captors are. You said it was a mossy ceiling, so it's probably underground. I'm, a gnome.
Yeah, or at the very least has been waterlogged and feeding off of the humidity for quite some time, at the very, very least. So, looking around, actually roll me a history check.
Artificer's lore or no?
No.
Still, plus 3 history, 4, 8, be 12.
Okay. Generally speaking, it looks to be human make.
Man, I don't know what I expected. I don't know if I could glean any kind of... I think I'm going to uncork one of my potions of mage armor and drink it.
Okay. As you're downing that, you hear a soft voice say, "Hello? Is there anybody else in here that's alive?"
Where's that coming from?
About 2 cells down and 2 across. If I'm not mistaken.
I tap my staff on the bench lightly, just a couple of times.
Okay, 2 cells down and actually on the same side as you, so you can't see each other. So he hears that, and he says, "Well, at least you're able to respond that way." You can actually hear his teeth chattering a little bit, even though he's trying not to.
And I can't see him at all.
No. You try and put your face up against the bars and peek through a little bit, and all I can see is just down towards the end of the hall. Where he's where his cell is at the very end with a stone wall. Back to your right, looks like maybe 1 cell over is a iron door that's shut.
Okay. I was under the impression that it was bars all the way around. That was dumb.
No, it's stone walls on 3 sides, back, right, and left, and then iron bars, rusted iron bars at that, across the front.
And he's 2 down.
Yeah, judging by the layout of the cells across from you, it looks like he's in the very last cell on your side, and you're in the second cell on your side.
All right. Man, I really don't want to be burning spells yet. What's the ceiling? Does the bars go all the way up to the ceiling?
Yeah, the bars do go all the way up to the ceiling. You can see in the middle of the bars where the door is at, and you would guess that whatever lock secures these doors is maybe a foot or 2 below the surface.
All right. Great. That gives me something to examine.
Okay.
I want to examine the lock and use my Artificer's Lore to determine its origin.
Okay. Go ahead and roll that.
That's an advantage, right? And then it'd be 16 plus 7, right?
I believe so.
Artificer's Lore is double my proficiency. Wait,
okay.
That'd be 6 plus my intel is 4, so that's plus 10, 26.
Okay. So with that, yes, this is definitely a human-made lock. Fairly old, and and not exactly in the greatest of conditions. Obviously, with being submerged for however long this chamber has been flooded.
All right. And I don't hear any other noise from outside of the room around.
Nope.
I want to try to pry the lock with my adamantine staff. I realize I'm small. I don't know how that'll work, but it's a crowbar in effect, right?
Could be. Roll me a...
See, it's an old lock.
Yeah.
Any rust?
Oh yeah, there's plenty of rust. And it's one of those locks that's built into the door, so this like throws a bolt into the other side, as opposed to a padlock on a hasp.
All right then. Any other? Can you? I'm sorry. Would you do me a favor and draw a quick diagram on paper and then hold it up so I can look at it for the room?
Yep. All right.
I mean, I have the cages, but I'm not. You say there's also an iron door.
Mm-hmm. Grabbing my grid paper real quick, if I can find the tablet. I wonder. Yeah, that's right. I threw it in my D&D backpack, so I'll be right back.
Oh, just a rough sketch. No big deal. Doesn't have to be on graph.
I'm detail-oriented.
I know this.
All right, so...
Let me know when they become an issue with the sound in the background.
It's fine. All right. All right.
All right, and I am in there, and there's someone there. What about the other cells? Are they empty?
They appear to all be empty from what you can see.
Okay. All right, let me rest so I get my slots back.
Yep.
This is a pretty cool program on my phone. All right, I'm about to move here. I'm about to do something.
Okay.
Any luck prying the lock at all, or damaging the lock, or maybe I don't know how damaged or rusted it is. I do have the hardest metal in the world in my hands. But
yep.
I'm tiny.
Yep. Actually, I do take back one previous statement. There is another body that you see in the cell directly across from you. You see, strung up by his feet, the body of a rotund man. His feet tied up at the top bars in front of the door, and hanging upside down with his hands tied behind his back, with his back up against the bars, so you can see.
Self-inflicted.
very much not self-inflicted. His head appears to be underwater, and he is not moving in the slightest.
Well, I probably should have noticed him right away if I was going to notice him, right? It's been
long. I should have mentioned him earlier. That's my bad.
Not that, but I mean, I don't know that I would have been able to do anything. All right. I say out loud, who's there?
My name is Emil. Strahd decided that I needed to be punished for standing against him, so he threw me in here until he decided to deal with me.
Where are we, Emil?
We are in the dungeons of His Honorable Strahd von Zellerich. Tell me, friend, do you have a plan to get out of here?
I'm not certain if I can accomplish that yet, but I'm thinking about it. It only takes a gnome a minute.
That's the best news I've heard in the last 3 days since they brought you here.
It's on the other side of that door.
That would be the main access to the rest of the castle. You'll want to mind your footing when you get out there, though. Nasty little bits of traps. That's one of the reasons I'm in this cell rather than my original.
Wait a second. You were in a different cell?
I managed to get out of the first one, and then stepped on the wrong part of the tile and ended up here.
So you weren't brought here?
Well, I was brought here, just not to this one.
Right, I know, but I mean, you, by means of the mechanics of the trap, you ended up in this cell. You weren't physically brought here, so you don't know what's on the other side of that door.
Well, if it's like the room I was in before, yeah, it's the same hallway.
Teleported?
That seems to be my best bet.
Were you conscious through it all?
Unfortunately.
All right, well, I think we can get out of here.
That is wonderful news. Just do what you can as quickly as you can. 3 days is long enough. I'd rather not spend another minute, if you don't mind my saying so.
All right, hey, thank you, sweetie. I'm gonna burn a first level spell and cast protection from evil and good.
Okay.
Man, I hate to do this.
You haven't actually rolled to use the adamantine staff yet, but if you want to.
Yes, I would like to.
Okay.
I'm pretty confident that it's stronger metal.
Yep. I would say between the board you're floating on, grabbing hold of the bars, positioning the adamantine staff just so you're able to take the time to get it all set up, and because it's adamantine, I'll say you have advantage on this dice roll. Make it a strength check, please.
It is going to be strength though, which is not my forte. 19, but -1, 18.
You're pretty sure that if you had some sort of potion to make you stronger, you could definitely make this work. But your tiny little gnomish body just doesn't have the oomph.
Oh boy. I take my staff, flip it around the other end to the business end, and I hit the lock really hard.
Okay.
Is it venom or acid in spider staff?
I believe it's venom.
I thought it was acid.
Could be acid, but I think it's venom.
I don't know where the description is, and I never could find it online. You gave it to me one time, but that was ancient history. I've moved a couple times since then.
Fortunately, I have the book that it's from.
I wonder if it's acid. It seems like I remembered it being... But that wouldn't make sense as a spider, although some spiders spit acid.
No, it is poison.
It is poison. Okay.
Yep. It deals 1d6 extra poison damage on a hit when used to make a weapon attack.
What the hell? I blast it with alternating firebolt and shocking black grass.
Okay.
That should heat that sucker up. And then bang it again with the staff.
All right.
It's causing quite a light show too, I'm sure.
Oh, I'm sure it is. There's water blasting everywhere, hissing.
He's like, you brought a welder?
Right. You realize after the first one with shocking grasp that you're in the water too, and that's probably a bad idea. It's like, yes, you're sitting on the plank, but your feet are dangling off the side of the water. Like, okay, that hurts. I'm not doing that anymore. So you probably
that's
just
very Konk-like.
Yeah,
you should probably make me roll damage.
All
right, I'll stop with the shocking grasp.
Yeah, but you're able to keep just zapping it with firebolt until, it's monotonous, but eventually you do see that the metal is actually starting to kind of glow. The water around it is hissing and sizzling. Go ahead and try again to use the adamantine staff to lever the metal out of the way.
Man, it's crazy because it's cooled. The metal is being cooled while it's being heated. It's probably going to get, it might get brittle. Whoops. That would be a 5 and a 7, so -1. No, I didn't do it.
All right, you can try again. You didn't roll 2 natural ones, so it's not like you dropped the adamantine staff in the water.
Now you got me thinking. Fuck, 6 and a 4. All right, let's stop this. Man. Shoot, this is bad. I mean, it's not bad. I mean, I just have too many options here. Is the problem, and I don't want to burn the spell slots because I know it's going to be a long night.
Potentially.
Yeah, right.
Could also potentially be a very short one.
What about Alchemist's Fire? What would that do to the lock?
Alchemist's Fire wouldn't particularly do anything to the lock. Probably because the lock the lock itself is underwater, so it wouldn't really do anything to that. But you could definitely add it to the what you've been doing with the fire bolts against the iron bars, and possibly get them to bend out of the way, detach, so on and so forth.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right.
17 -1 is 16. The other one's 11. You said it was an advantage, right?
Mm-hmm.
16.
All right. So with that, you've got the glowing red metal that actually seems soft enough that when you lever the adamantine staff back and forth, you're actually able to kind of push the bars away enough that, given a few different attempts, you're actually able to make a hole in the bars big enough that not only can Konk crawl through, he can also push his plank through and continue to have a flotation device if he wants to.
Excellent. Yes, let's do that.
All right, cool.
The other guy's probably not a gnome, though. So
no.
Let's go take a look and see what he's doing. Yeah, let's go see what he's doing.
All right, so you paddle.
What he looks like.
Yeah, you paddle / pull your way down there, and you see a man that looks to be a pretty bedraggled human. If you look at his fingertips and his lips, they're a little bit blue from the cold. His teeth are chattering, even though he's trying not to. You can see him standing there in the water, holding onto the iron bars.
Frail humans.
Yeah, he's trying to stay as still as possible so that he doesn't dissipate a whole bunch of his body heat out into the water. And his clothes, such as they are pretty ratty-tatty. He's been through some shit and has not had a good change of clothes or a groom for quite some time.
All right, let's I asked him how long he's been here.
I've been down in these dungeons for about 5 days. They brought you down here about 2-3 days ago, I think.
Let's see here. I'm going to have to come back for you, Emil. Somewhere around here, there's got to be keys or...
That mongrel folk that's wandering around here, he's the only one that has a key besides the master himself. Although, with two of us, if you were to give me a hand, I might actually be able to bend these bars free. I was able to do the last one.
All right, well, just a minute ago, I heated the bars up in mine and was able to squeeze out.
Great, let's try it. Besides, maybe I'll be able to get a little bit warm finally.
At least your fingers will. Let's try to heat up the bars and repeat the same maneuver.
All right.
Do I have enough of that vial of alchemist fire, or do I need to use another?
I would probably say you would need to use another.
Okay. Oh boy, how are you going to get outside that door? That would be an 8.
All right. He gives it a try, and at first his hands kind of sizz it a little bit, and he's not able to get much of a push. But then he'll actually reach underwater, tear off some scrap that you would guess from his pants, wrap it around his hands some more, and he'll give it another go. Much better. 2 19s.
Wow.
Yeah.
They're feeding you well in here.
They fed me a lot better before I got pulled in here. My wife's cooking was delicious.
Huh. Were you, what's your profession?
Hunter. My wife Zulika made quite the meal.
What kind of hunter, sir?
Generally, whatever wild game we had out there.
Been doing it a long time?
I have. And if you want to roll an intelligence check to see if you recall the name that he mentioned.
Emil? I'm sorry, I didn't hear another name. It did skip a little bit in the video.
Okay. He said that his wife Zulika makes a mean meal.
Oh, Zuleika. That sounds familiar. Is that a gypsy?
Would you like to roll an intelligence check to remember?
I would. Straight intel, right? I get +4. Oh,
yep.
Wait. Is it a saving throw?
No.
All right.
Just a check.
So 9 plus 4 would be 13.
All right, that's enough. You actually remember that Zulika is the werewolf clansman that led the party to have a confrontation with Verde, who had, in her words, taken her husband's place in the pack after he had disappeared.
Oh, yeah, no shit. I know that name, Zuleika.
Really? How do you know her?
We met her, and there was a power struggle.
Still?
Yes, sir. I know who you are. There was a power struggle in your pack.
And the outcome?
Zuleika, it did pretty good. We helped.
Good. Oh, that's even better. Well,
it was on the condition that they did not force when they swelled their pack numbers. It was voluntary.
That's what I wanted, so I'm glad that she carried that on.
No kidding, Emil. Small world.
Yeah, very small. Well, Barovia's not all that big.
Glad I made the effort to get you out of here.
Me too. Let's get all the way out of the castle now.
How deep are we? Water, dirty ceiling. I imagine we're in the deep dungeon.
Oh, yeah. Let's just get out of this room real quick. And he'll start wading his way out of his cell now that you guys have it open. He'll crawl out, wade his way, presumably with you in tow. He'll go up to the door, the iron door, and apparently it's unlocked because he just grabs hold of it and, yep, just pulls it right open. Takes some oomph to him, and you can actually see the wave of water rolling towards you as he forces the door open and it displaces a whole bunch of water.
Okay. Hey, I got an idea.
All right.
I can cast spider climb on both of us, and we could stay off of the floor and move quiet.
I like it. Let's do that. Let's do that.
Okay. That's going to burn 2 charges.
Yep.
And we will stealthily, hopefully, crawl across the ceiling. I'm sure he's pretty good at it. I'm not. I got a +1.
Although I thought we determined only one casting of the spider climb could work at a time.
Did we?
Mm-hmm. I thought so.
That depends on if items require concentration. They probably do.
I believe so.
Okay, so one at a time.
Or because you're still floating on the board, you guys could try and see if that would be enough to avoid whatever teleportation traps are in the hall. Because as he explains it to you a little bit more in detail, as he's like, okay, so we're here, there's the stairs to our right, there's a big open chamber over here to our left, and I remember stepping on a tile, and he kind of generally points about 10 feet away. I remember stepping on one there, feeling it sink out from under me, and that's when I poofed back into a prison cell. So as long as we don't step on any tiles, we should be fine.
1 second, before we leave, back in the other cell directly across from me was a gentleman hanging upside down. Do you know him?
That unfortunate man. He was a bard that, for no apparent reason, Strahd decided to see how long he could keep his head above water. So he strung him up with his feet up above his head below water, and he had to stay with his head above water as long as he could. Not being the most physically fit, he got tired and drowned.
Strahd's a bastard.
Sometimes I wonder if there's worse monsters out there.
Well, this is just frightening. Are you able to control yourself when you transform?
Yes. One of the few advantages of being a werewolf from Barovia is we have the ability to control when we change. Being that the moon is not so visible, it's something that we kind of grow up with.
Traps. I'm going to detect magic ritual.
Ah. That is a 30-foot radius, no? Or is it 10?
I
don't remember.
Detect magic. Range self 30 feet.
Okay, 30-foot range. Cool.
So
I'll just
it lasts up to 10 minutes, though.
Which would be... Go ahead.
But it's blocked by 1 foot of stone, 1 inch of metal, or a thin sheet of lead, or 3 feet of wood or dirt.
None of which apply here. Once you guys find yourselves floating in the main hallway, you can see from him as he moves out of the general doorway that leads into your guys' prison block. He actually ascends up about 2 feet worth of stairs up into the hallway. Directly to his left, in the center of the hallway, is one. There's another directly to his right, right next to the wall that he...
is one what?
Directly to his right is another one up against the wall that you guys just passed through.
Another one what?
Trap.
Okay. Did he point out?
He actually pointed out the one across the hall and another 5 feet down, or 10 feet down, rather. And then you also detect 2 more to the left-hand hallway, the right-hand hallway leads towards the spiral staircase, and the right hand of the hallway leads towards a large open chamber.
Are the stairs blocked in the staircase?
Does not appear to be.
I'm gonna float on over.
All right. Hold that thought. So as you head over, just as your little boat is about to hit the first stair, there's a couple of some movement under the water, and some crawling claws hop up out of the water and actually land on your little makeshift boat and start coming towards you. Whew.
Can I jump to the stairs?
You can, but I would say that you get attacks of opportunity from those things. Hang on, let me look them up real quick. Alright, so I'll say there's 5 that get on your boat by the time you try to jump to the stairs. So, one is able to get you. Let's see, you said you took mage armor, right? So what's your total AC?
15, that'd be 20 with shield.
Alright. So one gets a 21 and the other one gets an 18 out of those two. Another one gets a 22 out of 4. Oh, well, that was supposed to be just the one. And that one will miss. So, potentially 3 out of the 5 that are on your little makeshift boat are going to be able to reach up and claw at you.
Right, and if I burn shield, it'll take one of those away, right?
Yep, only one.
All right, I'm going to do it because it will last until my next turn.
Okay. So that is going to be a total of 9 bludgeoning between the two of them.
9 damage?
Yep.
Okay.
And being that Emil is up on the ceiling looking down, he's actually not going to be targeted by them at all. But you're able to get to the stairs successfully, and I would say it's fair to say that it's time to roll.
What are these things again?
Crawling claws.
Are they undead, sir?
They are undead.
They would fight at. They would attack at disadvantage.
Aha!
Protection from evil.
All right, so let me re-roll all of those again just to be sure. So the first one is going to be a 13. Second one is going to be even less. Third one, that's going to be an 18 total.
Sure.
So that's going to be a miss, correct? Because of shield.
Right.
Fourth one is also going to be a miss, and fifth one is going to be a miss. So they all missed.
Except the one. The one guy. Oh, it would have missed.
Yep, with shield it would have missed.
I love going back in time.
Yep. So, with that,
little bastards. Initiative, you said?
Yes.
I got an 8.
Nice. I will roll for Emil real quick. 16. All right. So he's actually going to be the one to go next. All right. And so he's going to, being that you know who he is and you've agreed to work together, he's just going to spend his action to go ahead and shift. And
well done, sir.
Huh?
Well done, sir.
And he is going to jump down and pretty much land on your now vacated boat and prepare to attack the next turn, which brings the turn to them. So he is now going to have 9 attacking him. So I need to make sure whether I have werewolf stats printed out already. I may or may not. Oh, I don't, but I do have the crawling claw printed out, so I can just use that. I'm glad I went ahead and actually typed up and printed out some of these monster stats.
Yeah, it makes it easier.
So much easier.
Have you been using donjon.com, by the way?
I haven't really had
all that stuff listed.
Yeah, I haven't really looked at that yet. And although part of the problem for me is the fact that being that my computer is anything but a powerhouse, I would have to print it from there still. I wouldn't be able to use it from the website during the stream just because my computer is so wimpy.
What was my initiatives? Like 7 or 4 or something? I moved the die.
You rolled an 8 plus whatever your modifier is.
Plus 1.
Okay,
9.
so
I don't
9.
think it was a 9. It was lower than that.
I thought you said 8. Either way, they rolled higher. Everyone else rolled higher than you, so the order doesn't change.
It's moot. Outstanding.
Yep.
Let's do it.
Completely moot. All right, so he's going
Keeping
to
in mind my shield is still up. Give me a 20 armor class and attacks are at disadvantage.
Yep. So I'll give him that. And I got the crawling claw info right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Okay.
How many of these things are there?
You see 9 pop out of the water and start trying to crawl over Emil and attack him in various ways.
Son of a bitch.
All right. So the first 4 are going to go. I'm going to roll real quick. And 2 of them roll enough. So that's going to be 7. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Damn, all 5 of the other ones are able to hit as well.
Or what?
All 5 of the out of the total 9, total 7 out of the 9 are able to hit him.
Hit him? Oh god.
Well, because he drew aggro.
Or a meal.
So, 10, 18.
Oh, wait a second. He's a damn werewolf.
True. Which actually, now that I think about it, I need to look. I don't think they're...
Take silver magic weapons to damage him, right?
Yep, so he's pretty much just tanking it. So he's quite literally doing his job. Which is draw aggro and attack. So it's actually bringing it to you, and they do almost nothing to him.
Great job. My turn?
It is your turn.
They're not focused on me at all, huh?
Not at all. They seem to be focused on whatever is the most opportune target, which you no longer are.
I guess I'm gonna... From the stairs, I'm gonna... None are within 5 feet of me, right?
I would say they're within 5 feet of you.
Okay, so that's different. Damn, if they were a swarm, it'd be easier.
I mean, technically, if there was 11 more of them, I could treat it as a swarm.
Man, this is, I hate to... I'm going to shoot one of them with my... I'm getting my internet connection is unstable. It seem okay to you?
Yeah, I just got the
message.
same. Yeah, I got the same message and it went away, so I think it's fine.
Okay. It's a disadvantage to fire, so I'm gonna shocking grasp one of them.
Okay.
I want to see how many hit points they got before I burn a fireball spell.
Yeah, roll the hit.
13 plus 1 dex? I don't know. Shocking grasp. Oh wait,
It's plus your spellcasting modifier.
Duh, that's right.
Yep.
Plus 7.
Yeah, that's a hit.
I think it's 2d8 also, isn't it?
At your level, actually, yeah, it would be. Or D10. One of the two.
2d8.
2d8? Okay.
So first one is a 7.
Dead.
Really? Okay. Did any of the other ones notice? Oh, shit.
Doesn't appear to, but it's not their turn either. Emil is going to go, and he's going to attack two of them. Basically one with each hand. Both of which the dice hit, let alone his modifiers. So what damage does he do? More than likely enough. Yeah, his minimum damage is enough to kill it, so he just automatically kills two. So you guys are down by a third as to how many you had. So I will say, let's see here. Yep, one is going to turn and attack you. The other four will attack Emil. So I'll do them first, just to see how futile they are. Half hit, half miss. And then the one that's going to try and attack you is going to hit with a total 19.
I'll take it.
Disadvantage.
Oh, yeah, it's a disadvantage.
And that is going to be a total of 13 now. That misses, correct?
That misses a 15 straight.
Cool.
So, yeah, I was just going to take it anyway.
Yeah, no, that was a miss. So.
All right.
Which brings
still
back to
got
you.
One near me?
Yep, you got the one that attacked you. Actually, it jumped off of Emil and is now clinging onto your shirt, trying to claw through your shirt at you. Just use its fingernails to claw at you.
If I zap it, am I going to zap myself?
I would actually say you'd be able to grab it, hold it out, and zap it out here.
Let's do that.
Cool. Roll the break.
15 plus 7.
That hits. Pretty much as long as you roll above 5, you're going to hit these things.
3 plus 3.
Dead.
6 damage. Okay. Next round, he goes.
Yep, he goes, and he's going to roll twice again. But that's going to be one hit and one miss, so he's going to destroy the one, not the other, which brings us to them. There's 4 of them. So, actually, all 4 of them are going to jump off of him and onto you. So that means I have to roll 4 disadvantaged attacks. So that's a miss, a miss, 17 total. So that's 1, and that's a miss. So all of 1 is able to make it through.
I'll take the 1. What's the damage?
2.
Still, when you don't have any way to heal.
Hey, those little paper cuts can add up over time.
Right. Get through a whole box of Band-Aids.
Mm-hmm.
Plus 1.
All right.
Uh, 12 plus 7 is 19.
Hits. Yep.
2 plus 4, 6.
Okay. Dead.
Killed that one.
Yep.
All
right.
How many are left? 2?
3.
3.
Yep. Emil is going to come up. His hybrid form almost looks like he's going to claw you, but you realize you guys have been fighting these things together. You're probably just going to try and claw 2 of the 3 that are on you off of you.
Don't roll a 1, you son of a bitch.
Right? So let's see. His plus is what? Okay, not enough. So 1 will hit, 1 will miss. and because of his minimum damage, the one that he hits is dead. So that leaves 2, and 1 will attack him, 1 will attack you, so the one attacking him is going to be futile, the one attacking you. 2 16s at disadvantage. So that's going to be total 19 for 3. And back to you again.
Yeah, let me zap it again.
Okay.
Uh, 17 plus 7 is 24.
That is a hit. Actually, you hit that one twice.
6 plus
Dead.
3.
They only have
Come on,
4.
Emil, keep up, buddy.
They only have 4 health.
Oh, good.
All right.
I was going to burn a fireball on him. I had no idea.
All right.
I'm glad I tested him out.
Yeah.
I'd have been all proud of myself and only really done 16 points of damage.
Yeah. All right. So his first attack is going to miss. Frustrated, he's going to attack again, and he's going to annihilate it. All right. With no more of them, he'll kind of take a few slow, deep breaths, revert back to humanoid form.
How many times can you do that?
As many times as I need to.
All right. I imagine the detect magic's still going, right? I mean, that was only probably like a 20-second fight.
Yep. And you don't detect any more magic ahead of you up the stairs. So.
I'm pretty sure we're going straight up.
Okay.
What does Emil think of that plan?
Well, now that I've warmed up a little bit, I think it'd be all right to head up the stairs. Although, once we get upstairs, I'm not entirely how sure we'll leave, because more than likely, unless it's expecting other guests, you mentioned friends when you mentioned fighting alongside my wife in the pack. So unless he's expecting your friends, the drawbridge is probably closed. I have heard tale of...
How far across is
it? Neither one of us has wings. Let's put it that way. I have heard tales that there is a teleportation room of sorts in here, but in my few visits to the castle before now, I have never seen it, and I have not exactly been privy to explore the castle since my incarceration.
I wonder if the other side is... Oh, never mind. I know of another teleportation circle in Barovia.
Really? Where might that be?
It's not finished. The Burgermeister's son, Victor, was working on it.
Victor. I know the name. Can't say I've heard anything particularly good about him, but can't say anything particularly bad I've heard about him either. So.
It's a tough life here. Can't imagine anybody's pure.
Pure evil, perhaps, but even then. All right, up the stairs we go.
Yeah, I would like to... There's a cantrip called Blade Ward.
Okay.
It doesn't require concentration. I just have to cast it every 6 seconds.
Minor detail.
I don't think there's anything in the rules that say I can't.
Yeah.
It gives me bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing resistance.
Cool. Is it an action or bonus action to do?
It's an action.
Okay.
So I can do it and move. I can do it and move and do it and move.
Right.